Today, I am going to discuss about job on one side, profession on another side. A broad discussion between these two sources of income. Job requires one to be qualified, get some degree, and the salary begins on the first day. Job. The moment you are out of college, you crack the interviews, tests, you immediately get the job as soon as the offer letter is issued in your name. When you accept the offer letter and write down your joining letter that I want to join, write your offer letter number, this and that, your appointment letter is issued. It could be in the form of email and all. The moment you start your first day at office or in the field as an employee, your income immediately jumps, whatever the level it could be. So day one you were zero, day two your income is up. This is job. In case of job, you need to be qualified according to the necessity of the job market. For instance, if it is a manufacturing sector, you might be required to have some engineering background. If it is accounting sector, maintaining money matters, sales and all that, profit and loss, balance sheet, it is related to accountancy, therefore you have to be a good accountant. In this manner, it could be a hospital sector in which you will be employed as a nurse, as a pathologist, as a receptionist, as a doctor. The moment you are employed, you have entered into the services sector, your income jumps on the very first day. This is job. Now getting a job is not very difficult because what it takes is just a rigorous years of studies, securing very good marks, and finally landing the job. Once you land the job, it becomes your only focus to maintain and preserve the job. If you fail to live up to the mark of your authority, they will flush you out. So from the very first day, your only thought will be how to make yourself very efficient, how to gain more skills so that your authority remains very pleased with you and retains you into the services. Now, as you increase your skills after a few years, you will feel like switching the company. It could so happen because you have increased your skill by sole dint of yourself. It can happen in two manners. One, while working in the company, you have learned certain things from your seniors which are beyond your job role. You are given a job role. Suppose you are a receptionist, but you are learning the accountancy also alongside, because you are wherever you are working, you get some time to talk to your other colleagues who might be into the accountancy. So you come to learn of that. You on your own effort, you learn something extra. So this is called upskilling. You can upskill yourself. So as soon as you know how to maintain the accountancy in the practical world, your capability already as a receptionist plus an accountant taken both together, you can demand a lift. Your present company will give you some lift and your income will jump some 50%, 60, 70, even 100%, depending on the skill set that you have acquired. One. Two, you can have a course from outside. You can visit a tutorial, you can go to some expert, and you can online acquire some skill, and with the help of which again you can demand your hike. You will be promoted or given a separate role, a bigger role, so your income will rise. This is another way. Or you can write down your CV, because your CV means curriculum vitae, this one, or biodata, whatever it is, resume, sometimes it is called the same thing. You write down that I have already acquired so and so experience working into this role in so and so company, and I have acquired plus this set of skills. So when you write it down, of course the next company, whosoever is reading it, will be more interested because you have acquired some knowledge which is related to the present practical job market, which is on demand in the present situation. Because any kind of job whatsoever you are doing as an employee is nothing but a business. Basically, it's an international business, it could be a domestic business, it could be B2B. It means business to business, means your company is providing something, manufacturing something, or giving some services to another business house. It is called B2B business. Or it could be B2C, means your company is producing some services or product for that matter, and it is being passed on to the customer directly. So it is called B2 customer, business to customer. So either your company is doing business to business or business to customer. So it could be product, it could be services also, because any kind of business is associated with two types of nature. One, it could be producing some kind of tangible asset like a book. It could be creating a book, publishing a book, and it is called B2C. They are supplying this book to the readers. So this is product. Or someone like me, I teach English, and therefore I do not produce any book and I do not give anything tangible or concrete to anybody. I give some idea to someone, some knowledge to someone. So it is called services. So it is no longer the product, it is the services that I provide. So your company could be doing some services in the form of accountancy, consultancy, or software manufacturing. In that case, it is ITES, information technology enabled services. So it could be in many other forms. As long as into this practical world you qualify yourself to be a very useful employee, your chakri is pakka, your nokri is confirmed, and you will continue to go up. It is called active income. You are active because you are employing your time, you are trading with your time, you are giving your time with your own skill set, and you are receiving in lieu of that some amount of consideration, which is your salary. So this is job. Done. So in order to take a job, you have to understand what kind of necessity is lying in the present job market, what kind of people are more in what. Now if you say that I'm a good clerk, I can write down, I can type, this is not necessary, because artificial intelligence and all other machine things have already taken them down. So what you need to do is to understand what is presently necessary. Accordingly you prepare yourself. Since class 10 you have to think about what is coming in the next 10 years, and accordingly you have to provide your avenues. You have to choose your avenues. Normally I have noticed people do not know that. People take decisions based on their knowledge or experience 10 years back, 20 years back. Actually you should have thought about 20 years forward what is going to happen. Therefore most of the people make mistakes. Now what is the solution? You have to have a mentor or a career counselor or someone very much knowledgeable, a good consultant. Give him some money, give him some fee, but you will get the information. Information is more than gold, my dear. It is not money that he is giving, it is not gold that he is giving, but he is telling you go and dig that place, you will find gold there. If you dig it, you will become insanely rich. So in order to become very successful in life, you must hire a proper consultant who will give you some guideline based on your talents and your personal inclinations, because these things vary from person to person. Coming to job market, so this is your job market. Now my second aspect, profession. What is profession? Profession is again another set of skill or another set of wisdom which you have acquired in the course of your studies over 20 years of time, which will enable you to solve problems of people directly. Again, directly. This is the most important part. How do you do that? For instance, you are a physiotherapist. You have understood that I am already good at science, and since class 8, you also found out when you came to class 10 that I am good at biology. When you came to 12, you were almost confirmed, yes, I can do biology and I can become a doctor. So you appeared in joint entrance examination, which is NEET or something, but unfortunately you failed to qualify to become an MBBS doctor. Now you start deciding as to what you can do. Suppose you could not even qualify to the next level, which is becoming a Bachelor of Dental Surgery, BDS, datet doctor. You could not qualify. Then you started thinking, because I am already good at biology, but I could not qualify in the joint entrance market, then what can I do? You can become a physiotherapist. Yes, this much you can qualify, whatever marks you have obtained and all. Everybody has in the competitive market a stratum, a level. So say your level is that much that you can acquire this kind of qualification. Now, or if you are a girl, you can become a nurse. Say you have chosen to become a physiotherapist. Now you have become a physiotherapist, you know how to treat a broken bone person or someone who is very old, cannot walk, all these kinds of things with the help of exercise. Medical knowledge, anatomy, physiology, exercise, all these things are your areas of concern. It is directly associated with a human being because anyone in your neighborhood will require your help today or tomorrow. Either he becomes old, therefore he will require your help, or he will have a broken bone and therefore he will require physiotherapy to regain his normal activity on the organ. On the, if it is a hand, then hand will work normally, so you have to do the physiotherapy. Ultimately you are a professional. In the similar manner, if you know the accountancy well, you can qualify yourself to be a chartered accountant, or you can become an advocate. There are stages, but you will become an advocate. You will be qualified to appear before the judge on behalf of your client and talk to him. By the way, there are many books. These are all law related books, not meant for me though. However, or you can qualify yourself to choose the path of independent professional as an MBBS doctor. Suppose you have come out as an MBBS doctor and you have not got a proper job. Your family situations requires you to stay put at home. You cannot relocate. You cannot go from Hyderabad to Delhi. So you have to remain at Hyderabad. And because you have old age parents, you might have some compulsions at home. Therefore, you stay back at home. So what will you do? You have two options. One, you can become a job holder. You can join a service. Therefore, write down your CVs to the hospitals, and hospitals will employ you as an RMO. Sometimes for the initial few years, they can put you on the house staff shift. Little bit of money you will get. Or you can alternatively choose to become a practitioner, physician, because you have home, you have your chamber, or you have some place whereupon you will allocate some time and people will come to you. You will write down the tests, you will write down the prescriptions, and in this way you can continue doing your physician practice. It is called table practice, but physician practice. This is another. So these people, this advocate who has the chamber, this doctor, and then the physiotherapist, the accountant who is the chartered accountant and he works for him, patients are who? Patients are nothing but the tax filers, individual such as I, or some people who are not actually human beings. These are companies. So companies also file the taxes. So chartered accountant, you can work but independently. This is called profession. Now our discussion today is sorry, job or profession. See, in case of job, your advantage is your income jumps on the very first day, but the con side is it remains stagnant for a very long period of time until and unless you make a progress. For instance, you got a promotion, you changed another company, but it will go up little bit. For instance, it is 15,000 today. It could, after 3 years or 5 years, if you have acquired good skill set, will become 35,000 or 40,000. But 15,000 after 5 years will not become 1.5 lakhs. 10 times jump is not possible in job. So I would say any to 10, 15, 20% of income increment per annum is no big deal today, because inflation is shaving off, SHAVING, shaving off your increment, your value of money. In terms of dollar, dollar is ruling the entire world, so dollar is boss. In terms of dollar, rupee is falling consistently, rupee's value is falling. As a result, again you are losing money, because on international term we are all dependent on dollars. So ultimately the value of money that you have is going down, and every day you will find to maintain your family becoming quite more and more difficult. My point is only 10-20% increment per annum is no big deal. Today if I tell you it is 20% up every year, even if it is made to be sounded true, yet you are not going to live a lavish life one day. You will never become satisfied in life one day, because it is job. So in a way I would justify it to be stagnant. The very first day, then it remains very little, almost stagnant. You spend 30 years in the job. I'm talking about an average situation, because in the corporate barely you can have a 30 years life, barely. 90% will be out within 20 years of time. So beyond 20 years you normally do not stay. If you belong to highly acquired skilled personnel, then you can remain in the corporate sector for another 10 years. So 30 years is very standard to assume. Say you remain 30 years. By the way, I'm not considering government sector, because government sector is no. There is no chance. Government is itself closing down all its employment, and they are taking people on contractual basis and all. So forget government sector. So I'm talking about real corporate world. So your income over 30 years of time, you become what? Nobody. It remains almost stagnant, and one day you become 55 years old, or for that matter 60 years old. The corporate or the company you are presently working in would say you retire now, you are no longer, because there is a certain policy. According to the policy, you have to superannuate, which means they will throw you out, giving you some money and all that. Now that is the con side. One, you have stagnated income, but your liabilities are increasing every year. You have married, you have had kids, kids are going to the schools. As they are growing up, more and more educational costs are mounting, but your income remains almost stagnant. As a result, you will find it very hard to save the money. My question is, if you do not have sufficient savings or investment, what will you have to fall back upon in your old age? Because in your old age, when you stop earning, your active income becomes zero. You have to depend on the passive investments, whatever money you have already invested, but you do not have sufficient passive investment. Why? Because you have spent the money whatever you have earned during the tenure of 30 years. My point is, this job holder will still remain a poor, helpless man, and his exit point means when he will die between 60 to 90, these 30 years will be very painful, because if you do not have money, of course, no one will take care of you. So, on one side, if you choose the job services employment, you will quickly get it. And initial kick or cortisol kick is tremendous. It means adrenaline rush. You become so jubilant. You throw the party. You get a big car. You immediately book a flat on EMI, on loan. However, it is very much happiness on the very first day. Over 30 years, another 30 years means over 60 years of time, considering you are 25 now, over 60 years of time when you turn 85 and you are about to close your chapter of life on this earth, at that time, you simply slogged. Over 60 years of time, you underwent pain. You lived your life burning both sides of your candle. Your expenses were more, your income was very less. The greatest con side will come when it comes to your kids' engagement, financial engagement. Say your kid grows up. Now, the guardians who are 50 years old or around 50 years can relate to what I'm going to say. Suppose you are 50, 55 years old, your son or daughter has already qualified herself or himself to be a doctor, to be a graduate for that matter, into anything. There is no job. There is, of course, no job. Again, he or she will have to start from where you had started 30 years ago. At that time, you struggled and you started as at a very low level. In the similar manner, your kid will have to start at the lowest level, because as soon as you are thrown out of the company as a senior manager or whosoever you happen to be by now, your income comes to zero, and your daughter does not begin from where you have ended. Can you get me? You become a manager, but daughter is not starting from being a manager. She is starting from the lowest level, a receptionist. Am I clear? So, or a data entry operator means the lowest level, again 10,000. This is the con side of employment. You cannot protect your daughter, you cannot protect your son unless you have created a big corpus which will be enough to take care of him for the rest of his life. Normally, it does not happen because I have already spoken about it. Being an employee, you cannot do that unless you are among the 1% who has gone to IIT, NIT, US, stayed there for 10 years. These are more than less than 1% people. All right, 0.01% people. So normally you and I, we are common people. I am talking on rule. I am talking as general. Whatever I comment is on average, not the exceptions. So normally anyone taking up a job will end up very badly, and his children will also be helpless. Now, the people who are listening to me, you are between the bracket of 40 and 55 years. Your daughter is growing up, your son has grown up. You can relate to what I mean, how helpless you feel. Comment it into the box. I'll see them personally and reply them. Now, coming to this side, initially, here the jump was initially very up. Here, initially, there will be no income. Sorry, no one knows you, and therefore, no one will come down to you who will get you treated as a physiotherapist. There will come no taxpayer knocking at your door to have his tax filed. So no one knows you as an advocate. No one knows you as a doctor. Even you are a 24 years or 25 years old doctor, MBBS doctor, who will rely on you. Of course, your income will be just zero. Why? In 5, 6 years or 10 years time, this fellow will have his family. He will marry. He will have his son and daughter. He will get a flat on loan. He will get a car on loan. This fellow will be looking at him and thinking, oh my God, I have lost my life. Why? Because he has no income, he has no flat, he has no car, and he cannot even afford to marry because his income is almost zero. But if he slogs on, this is the time, this is the phase when 95% people give up and join employment. They will give up their independent profession, 95% people, and they will try to join employment. Again, joining employment is not that easy today because it is full of competition. However, most of them will try to join this side, and they will again slog. Whatever is easy, whatever is quick is not going to give you big. It will not make you wealthy. Look at this side. It is quick, easy, not wealthy. Now 5% will continue here, and finally clients will start coming to him. Clients will notice, yes, he can solve my problem. I have got one neighbor uncle. He was arrested by the police. In just 10 hours time, this advocate got him bailed out. Now he is free. Go to him. So he will start getting clients. More and more people will come to him to seek his advice, to seek his services. Now his income starts. After 5 years, it begins. But do you know how his income is? It is like the hockey stick, J. So he remained for 5 years almost zero. Then it comes increasing, becomes exponentially high. Now, my point today is not to give you the financial differences, but to give you this idea that for the next generation, what this man is living 60 years, what this man is living again 60 years. Let us imagine job holder, professional. Professional at the age of 60 is enormously rich. He has created a huge corpus. His monthly income is no longer flat. His monthly income is like ogive. It is going up, touching the sky. Anytime it is going very, very up, and he's increasing his fees because the more the demand is, the more the market is rewarding him. Today he is taking 50,000. Tomorrow he will quickly demand 1 lakh. Say you as a client went to him, got yourself cleared by paying him just 50,000 today. After 1 year, you take your uncle to him. He will say today my fee is 1 lakh. Just double. So every year he doubles his income and he becomes enormously rich, beating all inflations, beating all fall of INR against dollars, beating every negativity. His active income is soaring very high. So one is this. Second is his daughter or son, sorry, as a doctor, as a physiotherapist, because whatever he is, if he is an advocate and he is 60 years old, he has been kicked out of the employment. Now his income is zero. At 60, his income is even growing. At 80, it will touch the sky if he continues being physically fit. Can you understand me? No one can throw him out. Two, he can directly introduce his son into the business. He can say or tell his son, here is my petrol pump. I started it. I worked very hard. Now the petrol pump is every month throwing us 10 lakh rupees. You can go and directly run the petrol pump. The son will go, take up the business, and he will run as an owner. Here your son is again another servant at the lowest level. But here his son or daughter is taking over as an owner. He will sit on the chair of you when you will relinquish the chair. Look at Mukesh Ambani ji. He has got 3 kids. Everyone is given separate chairs to run because the business has become bigger. Just an instance, everywhere it happens. Look at Shah Rukh Khan. He is trying to introduce his daughter into the cinema market, into his son. Look at Amitabh Bachchan. He has introduced his son. So they did not begin like a slogger. They began directly as the kid of an actor, star kid. So it is just for your understanding. I have given you this example. So crores of people are there already who directly walk up and sit on the chair of ownership. So you being the top lawyer or one among the top 5, your son will begin with this advantage. Your 500 clientele will be transferred to him directly. First day he is very rich. So you were here the manager, you could not introduce your daughter into the post of manager. So again it will drop. So you will remain like this. Your life, your son's life, his daughter's life, you will never go up. You will remain within this range and therefore poor. Plainly speaking, poor. This is poverty, reason of poverty. And he goes up and goes up. If he has given proper sanskar to the son, if he has given proper education and knowledge to the next generations, then next generations will keep on rising, creating empires. They won't have to slog anymore as a poor man that once this person started with. If you have liked this video, don't forget to share it. One may require such kind of knowledge to decide on the journey of the life, because life is no joke. You have to be extremely careful and judicious before taking such decisions. And do subscribe this channel if you have not done this, because every time I float one video, you will come to know of that. And there is my playlist based on different broader subjects. You can click on the playlist, see many other videos I have floated. Again, do not forget to share these videos. Someone may need it. Thanks for watching. We will meet soon.